Hi guys, welcome to my live video. I'm super kicked today because today is a very special day. Today this live video is about out of the box parenting, and it is about I have a lot of people who have been asking me about parenting issues. So today's episode is, or today's live video is out of the box parenting with me and a very special guest on this live video is my 16-year-old son, Shian. A lot of people come and ask me about parenting stuff. A lot of people come and get counseling, coaching from me, healing from me, and ask me about parenting, about children. And a lot of times it's just from a mother's point of view. Parenting is something that I give people from just a mother's point of view. So today I'm gonna have my 16-year-old wise, most amazing, kind, passionate, gentle, understanding, grounded, I have this aura that I am so wise kind of son. I'm just super lucky. My children spoil me because they're just phenomenal. Not that he's not a normal teenager, but yeah, Shian is a super wise, super grounded, a fabulous healer, someone who does sessions in my center. It's not something that one fine day I introduced him into. He's grown up with it. A lot of people ask me, Sheila, how are your children? And I said, Shian's kind of grown up in all of this energy. He has grown up with, energy, with all of this mentoring stuff that I do. He sat through all of my classes. He's come with me for all of my trainings. I have actually just taken him and gone to Mumbai, to Delhi, wherever I've traveled for all of my life coach training classes. So I'm going to introduce all of you to the most special child who is the most amazing son. And I keep saying that I really got lucky because Shian's my son. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is my boy, Shian.
Hi!
Okay, so we're gonna have some issues with Instagram, or maybe we won't. We're just trying to have Instagram and Facebook, guys. I'm gonna have I'm gonna ask all of you guys to be generous and share this on all your groups, so that more people can see this interaction. We're gonna address questions and we're gonna address issues of parenting that you might have. He's 16 years old, and he helps me be a great mom. He taught me to be a mom, and parenting him was not easy because I was a single parent whilst I was parenting him at some point. And he has been one of the most amazing forces of motivation and strength in my life. Lots of people saying hi Shian, hi Shian, hi Shian.
Hello, hi.
Okay, so let's start with do you want to say something?
I'm just happy to be here.
Okay, he's happy to be here. Cool. So let's have people shoot out their questions if you have any about parenting, teenage children. Guys, share this on all your groups, share this to your friends so more people can watch this. And I really want to address as many questions as possible. And Shian's going to try and give his take on parenting because he helps me be a better parent. All right, so let's see if we can address as many questions as possible. Hi guys. Hi Reshma, hi Preeti, hi everyone, hi Vaikari, hi Shushmita, hi everyone. So we're going to address as many issues with parenting as possible. I'm going to see if I have any questions here already. Someone says she finished all her work, kitchen work before 11, so she didn't want to be late for the live. Thank you, I love you too. I love all the people who come here every single day and watch my live videos. Thank you. Some people saying thank you for coming online soon. Indeed, a special episode. Got addicted to your live videos. Thank you guys. So much of love, my goodness. How did I get so lucky? Okay, so share this on your groups, on your profile, so we have more people watching this. We're going to talk about parenting, how to deal with instant guilt with kids not there up to the mark. Okay, I'm not sure if you're saying how to deal with instant guilt with kids not there up to mark. Okay, I think Nids Agarwal is asking me about how do you as a parent deal with guilt when your children are not up to the mark? Or are you not up to the mark? What is that? What do you do?
I think you should elaborate on the question.
Okay, Nids Agarwal, I'd like you to elaborate on that question. Are you asking about your guilt when you are not up to the mark? or your kid is not up to the mark? I'd like to address that. Please explain that. I'd like to take your question. So I'm taking question from Instagram here. What do you do when kids don't obey? Okay, how do you deal with toddler regarding tantrums? Okay, I'm a mom. So all of you who don't know, I'm a mom to a teenager and a toddler. My toddler has gone to sleep. So I have a 16-year-old and I have a 6-year-old. So I have to do like switch parenting. I have to like switch modes in parenting a lot. You know, it's like a switch you do. You go teenage, toddler, and somewhere in between you're just yourself. So yeah, we're going to talk about toddler parenting with tantrums. Okay, hi Shian, tell us something about you and what do you think as your mom is a super lady? Oh my god, okay, we're gonna have you talk now. Answer that. Tell us something about you and what do you think as your mom is a super lady?
See, something about there's not much about me. I'm just a normal student going to 11th grade right now, and I think super lady is an understatement from what my mom is like. Honestly, like, you know, I've seen way more than all of her fans and all of her viewers on Facebook and Insta. So I, you know, like, I couldn't be more proud as a son, like, honestly. So, you know, super lady is like an understatement, I can tell you that much. So
Oh, so cute. Thank you. Okay. So he says it's an understatement. Thank you. Kid is not doing what he's supposed to do. Okay, he's supposed to do for his age. That makes me guilty for my parenting. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna address that. A lot of times we as parents want to do the best for our children. Alright? Shian is very handsome. Super mom. Okay. We as parents, okay, I'm gonna address this question. We as parents want to be super parents. We want to be perfect. We want to do the best for our kids. We want to do it all right, and we want our kids to turn out well. Our kids are not our craft project. I have to tell you guys this. Your child is not your craft project. A lot of times you need to live in that allowance of your kid to grow up, be and express himself like he'd like to be. Sometimes when you just, you know, make your child your craft project and you feel like he has to turn out perfect, that's a lot of pressure and projection on your kid. You are thopoing on your child what you want him to do and be, and when he doesn't turn out that way, you take it on as your guilt. All right? And I think the biggest thing is that you are judging yourself to be good mom, perfect mom, bad mom, based on what other people around you are setting as an example. Like, there is this classic mold, and I think somewhere you feel like you need to fit into that mold and do all of those things. I don't fit into that mold. Everyone, I mean, I'm just going to put everything on the table. Everyone can ask Shian how many times in a month his mom cooks. How many times in a month does mom cook? Alright?
it's an exclusive thing.
It's an exclusive thing. And when I cook and my kids go, Mama, that was so yummy, you know, I feel like, oh my god, I should cook more, you know, because I'm a fabulous cook. Like, when I cook, you know, people are like eating up their fingers, not because the cooking is so bad, but the cooking is that good. Like, I'm a phenomenal cook, and Shian can agree with that. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, like, especially when I'll make like appams and stew, and then when I make like, you know, like pasta, or I'll suddenly make something out of the box, or I'll bake. So yeah, and you know, a lot of times I don't do the conventional things like moms what they're supposed to do. And when you don't do those things, you got to know that being a, you know, spending quantity time is important, but spending quality time with your kids is important. So don't judge yourself as a mom, and don't go into that box where you think, okay, you know, there's this mold and I need to sort of fit into that mold, and I'm not doing this, so I'm a bad mom. And I'm gonna be really, really honest, guys. A lot of women do this to other women. Women are judging other women. Women are judging other women. So yeah, stop judging each other, and you know, kind of cheer the other people in your tribe. So yeah, and the first thing is to just stop judging yourself. I hope I answered your question. We want Shian to talk, please, on what kids expect out of parents. Okay, so I'm gonna hand over the screen to Shian for a bit. Quickly, I'm gonna go and get myself some water because I'm gonna need some water. So I didn't get water. So you're gonna talk about what what's that? What kids expect out of parents.
Okay. Now cameras. Yes, it's mine. Now answering that question, one thing I can tell you for sure that every kid is different. Every kid is different. There are kids that share the same ideals. There are many other kids that are like totally different from the others. They're like you know they're like the black sheep in their crowd in their school. So most kids would honestly speaking, it depends on the kid. Like, you know what, I don't, if you would ask me that question personally,
What do you expect from your parents?
yeah, I would say nothing. I would, I'm already
You don't
happy with-
expect anything from your parents?
now that I think of it, nothing actually.
Yeah, but what is the one thing that a child has, like, what is the one thing that a kid feels like, oh, I wish I had more of? I think that would be like me, if someone was to ask me as a parent, like, what, as a child, what would I want more of my parent? I would say, some more appreciation from my mom or my dad when I do really well, I think encouragement. So that's one on the checklist.
I think I've got more than what I've asked for from before.
Yeah, and I think like our generation of parents do like a bit too much. We're like helicopter parents, right? We just like, oh, you know what, you shaved. Oh, awesome, Shian, you shaved. I think I do that. Like, Shian goes for a run and I'm like, wow, you ran 10K. That's so awesome. I'm so proud of you. Like, we tend to appreciate a lot more in our children compared to what our parents' generation goes, because our parents are from the point of view that कुछ ज़्यादा बोलेंगे तो सर पे चढ़ जाएगा, and this person won't they won't improve. So I think that's what a lot of things. So what is it that kids today expect from their parents? What you as a child, okay, let's say you don't have that expectation, or maybe you have, or maybe it's fulfilled, but what do you expect from your parents that you think children are not getting today? Maybe you're getting it, but maybe other children are not getting it.
Right now, what I'm observing is that there are a lot of kids these days, which usually I had not heard of, but like a lot of kids these days who are quite understanding also, but maybe that's how they are in school. But what I would say, what kids would expect from their parents is, I don't know, like most of the times it's maybe unnecessary stuff like a smartphone.
Hold on, guys. Sorry.
Just a second.
We're just gonna we have two phones here, and we're trying to make the best thing possible happen here so that both people feel like they are getting attention. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like what I would say is that most of the times these days, expectations from kids to parents are mostly like it's not like they really require something that they expect from the parents. Like it's usually these days it's not love from the parents most of the times. There are some cases where it is, but most of the times no.
So what do kids expect?
Like
Understanding?
maybe understanding, but in a very violent way.
What does that mean?
Like teenage rebellion. I don't know. That's what causes it for them, because they have like a requirement of everyone to listen to them.
And that causes teenage rebellion.
One of the reasons.
Okay. So what do children expect from parents is for them to be understanding? No, we're not answering the question. We just
It's honestly that's
it's
again,
I think kids don't know what they expect from their parents. That's what I'm getting from this.
true.
I'm just getting whatever you do for your kids. Your kids are going to say, "Oh, you didn't spend time with me because you're doing this." Oh my God, we're going to battery.
I'll be back.
Okay, Shian, come back. Yeah, Shian's going to get us some, the plug so that we have battery on this phone. So, okay, how was parenting as a single parent, and how did Shian deal with people around when asked about being a single parent? Okay, I'm going to have Shian also answer that. But as a single parent, single parenting was super tough. Single parenting was really tough. I had the support of my parents. I had a lot of that. My parents supported me, they helped me. I don't know, yeah, what to do with this thing. One is landscape and one is portrait. I really wish I knew how to like manage these two screens. Otherwise, I can't see what's happening on Instagram and then I'm lost. Okay, how was parenting as a single parent? How did Shian deal with people around when asked about your single parent? Was it tough? So Shian, I think that's a question for you. Shian is back.
1 second.
Yeah, so how was parenting as a single parent? Like when people asked you about, you know, your mom, your dad, like how was it for you?
Not having a dad around at that time was you know, you could say it was tough, but I had my grandpa fill in that role and my mom and my grandma fill in that role. So, you know, I was really happy, honestly. Like, you know, at that time it didn't feel like it was something was missing. Only when I grew up, like the age of 7, 8 and all that, that's when I started feeling it. But then my papa walked into my life, and then
yeah, the rest is history. Okay, so as a single parent, I think a lot of people judge you, especially from the kind of work that I do. And the first thing they're going to ask you is, oh, you know what, couldn't you fix something in your life, or couldn't you see what was going on in your life, or, you know, why couldn't you fix your life or your marriage? And I'm going to say that, you know, that none of us are free from our life lessons. Everyone has their own bit of life lessons to learn, our own bit of life lessons to go through. So yeah, you know, we all make stupid mistakes, and Sheila Bajaj is not an exception. Sheila can be extremely stupid. I don't rob myself of my human stupidity and my stupid choices and my stupid decisions, and I can be extremely vulnerable. So yeah, you know, you kind of make sometimes messed up choices, and then you end up in a situation where you've got to like now troubleshoot. And single parenting wasn't easy, but I had the support of my parents. Most of all, I tell people is that I had support of Shian. You know, having Shian's support was unbelievable. Like when I relocated to Delhi, at that point of time, it was not easy to have like a 4.5-year-old, a 4-year-old, and take care of him and manage a television career. But you know, having, you know, court and, you know, all of that to attend in Bangalore, traveling back and forth. But Shian has been the most understanding kid ever. Any of my old clients who've ever visited will remember that Shian would always entertain them, you know, in the living room when I used to work from home. And a lot of times, you know, and never once, I can say it as a record till today, as a record, I can say Shian never walked into any of my consult rooms and says, Mama, I want this, or Mama, I'm hungry. Never. Like, he was so self-sufficient. He knew when mom's working, you know, I'm just gonna do my thing. Like, he just had his own way of, you know, dealing with stuff. So he's been extremely supportive. Even my move to Delhi, he never said, Mama, I hate Delhi. You know, until we probably came back to Bangalore and said, oh my God, I love Bangalore. I don't want to go back to Delhi. So he's been extremely supportive. And I think single parenting, I always say that I think you have to have that, you know, that positivity to kind of bring up that child in that way. He seems to be very matured by birth and very understanding. Yes, he's a very old soul, and I wish I was that wise when I was his age, but I was not. So yeah, I know this moment is a part of your life, but to be frank, I'm a huge fan of okay, thank you. How can we pamper and be strict with our baby? How can we balance? So we have a question for Shian who says, how can we pamper and be strict with their baby? How do you balance it?
Okay, babies, huh?
Okay, so Shian has a younger sibling who's 6 years old, and he's almost like a half parent to Zubin. Shian is like awesome. Like, I'm not just praising, guys. Like, most parents will just like tear their kid down. Ye nahi karta hai, wo nahi karta hai, whatever. Yeah, I still like. I mean, I had my biggest problem with Shian was, Shian, go for bath. Shian, go for bath, and I don't have that issue anymore. So I'm happy. So like I'm really happy because he goes and has a bath. Thank God for teenage years, he has a bath. So so how can you pamper and be strict with your kid?
Um, Now, if you're talking
Don't look at the
about,
comments, you'll get distracted, so just answer that question.
if
I'll
you're
look at the
talking
comments.
about a baby, that's where things get a little complicated, because being strict with them is, I don't think it's such a wise thing. Um, I would say, see, pamper's nice, but then don't introduce them to something that you would regret later. That's one thing. And I don't know, like, how old is this
Child.
child of yours?
Oops. Wait, I'll scroll. 3.
3?
No, I think it's a different person. Somebody who's 3 who's turning out stubborn. Can you help? So she's
3?
turning out stubborn. I don't know if it's the same person though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm seeing this a lot in kids who are like younger right now. When I don't know, like one thing's for sure. Like one major thing that has worked out for like the longest time is this whole good cop bad cop thing, and most of the times when
Shian knows my tricks, guys. Good cop, bad cop. Parents. He knows my tricks. He knows what's up my sleeve. Oh God.
so like so that's one thing you have to make sure, like one person handles the pampering, another person handles the discipline. So like, I mean, obviously the person who's willing to like who's brave enough to like get that hate from their kid, you're gonna have to be the bad cop, which also means
Who's
that
the
in
bad
the long
cop?
run,
Between mama and papa.
papa.
Papa is the bad cop. So I had to be bad and good cop earlier. So it was tough. It's really tough to shift gears being.
But that's the best. Being both good cop and bad cop at times. When you know how to switch gears, that's the best. That's, there can be nothing better than that. Probably, but nothing I know of.
Awesome.
Switching between good cop and bad cop is.
If Papa is watching you from your Instagram, so Papa is watching.
Papa.
His dad is watching him from his Instagram. He's not here, and he's watching him from his Instagram account. So I can see Shian watching. Shian joined in, so it's like Karthik calling Karthik. Like Shian's watching Shian. Awesome. So hi Papa, we're talking about good cop, bad cop. He knows our games. So okay, can you please talk about dealing with pressure of being a new mom? Vaikari Hasnabis. Okay. The pressure of being a new mom is crazy. Alright? Most women will judge you for not being a great mom if you have a maid. Most women will judge you if you don't breastfeed. Most women will judge you when you don't do certain things for your kid. Okay? When you work. So most times you are going to be judged for working, for having a career, for having a life. When Shian was small, I would sneak out. I would actually sneak out and just say that I just want to go somewhere. Okay, thankfully no one's watching who knows what I did, but I would just say I have some work and I need to just step out, because I would be judged perhaps for just saying that I needed time off from my kid. Every mom needs time off from their kid. I have to say this, guys.
Honestly, that's a right.
Yeah,
moms
that's your
deserve.
right. Okay, and you need your time off. I was really lucky when I had Zubin, I had Shian, I had Vaishak, who's the most supportive husband and the most amazing dad. Like, he would do all the other duties. He said, other than breastfeeding, I can do everything else. Like, the one thing I can't do is breastfeeding. So, I'm going to like help with whatever I can. But he was horrible with night duty. So that's another story. Yeah, he would just fall asleep. Even if Zubin's crying, he would just be like, knocked out. So, I would just, when Shian was small, I didn't have help, alright, and my circumstances were like that, and I ended up, I would just sneak out of the house, like literally say that I have some work, and I would just go to coffee day and just have myself a cold coffee. People are gonna judge you for wanting that space. People are gonna judge you for wanting your sleep. And it's all right to want your space. It's all right to get tired of your kid sometimes. It's all right not to be doing everything and enjoying it. Most times parenting is not a very, like, when you end up being idealistic and you say, oh, I'm gonna do it all, I'm gonna do everything, so potty ulti. repeat. Susu potty ulti, repeat. Susu potty ulti, repeat. You think you're going to do this day in and day out every time? You're trying to be idealistic. You're trying to fit into some mold of being a perfect mom. You're going to get so exhausted and have a burnout, and you're not going to enjoy the process of enjoying your little baby. Okay, that's what I noticed, like with Zubin's time, is that I kept adequate help, and I was working as well, and I said to hell, like bhaad mein jao, to all the people who were literally judging me for getting back to work in a week or two. You know, I said to hell with it. Yeah, I mean, they're not living my life and they're not taking care of my baby, and I spent quality time with my baby. And it will not, you know, other moms will say, oh, you fed your kid only for that long, oh, you breastfed only for that long, oh, okay, you give your kid this food, oh, I give my kid home food. You know, moms, other moms can tear you down. Everyone's going through some self-guilt. They want to try and do some comparison pissing contest game with you so that you feel shit about what you're doing, and it's just something women do. So all I'm gonna say is, guys, if you're a woman and you're a new mom or you're an older mom, you've had kids, don't try to implant that guilt or project that guilt onto other moms. Okay, women need to actually back each other up and not tear each other down. So I'm just gonna say that everyone should have that thing. Okay, Mahadevan Nair says, Shian, I always say chota packet bada dhamaka. Wow, he's a replica of Vaishak. Okay, I don't know anyone who knows Vaishak, but okay, cool. Shian, do you share all your secrets and things with Sheila ma'am? How open and comfortable and important it is to be open with your parent?
It's very important. Very important. Like, you know, many.
He looks
many
shorter
kids-
than me, by the way, because he's sitting on a stool, but otherwise he's taller than me. Yeah, and I'm feeling so kicked that at least abhi ke liye I'm looking like taller than him. Nahi to ye mere se itna lamba hai. So okay, go ahead. It's very important.
So like, I would say it's very important to have that one parent who, you know, you could go and talk to, yeah, and see, that's the one thing that I would like to add to the good cop bad cop thing. It's, you know, it's important for at least one parent to be approachable, so that, you know, your kids are not always hiding things from you, and that's most of the times it's what happens is when both the parents are like, you know, they're not approachable and they're always strict and always trying to force things on people. That's what makes a rebellion worse, and you know, that leads
Those are
the
golden
kids,
words, guys. I wanted to say that again.
That
What
leads-
makes rebellion worse?
when both the parents are not approachable.
Yeah.
That's
And-
what makes it worse. And one more thing I would like to add is that, you know, like, if you're not approachable and your kid is not talking to you about, you know, stuff in their life, and you know, they just make their own decisions after that, it's not going to be the best decision for them, and they might not know that at that time, but you know, you would have probably done different. You would have probably led them in a, you know, better way. You would have given them a right choice. You would have at least influenced that choice. Forget about making it for them. You know, making a choice most of the times also isn't wise, but like, at least influencing their choice is important. So when that is absent, right, that's when, you know, they can make like terrible decisions, and you know, things can just go off, and then, you know, it's a lot of friction, and you know, a lot of things come up at that time. So yes, I do share my secrets with mama, and it's you know, it's a really relieving feeling once I do, and it's something I really can't explain in words.
And
It's
I think
something-
that, you know, it's also important to give your children that space and not like force them to come and talk to you. Like, no, you tell me. No, nosy, tell me. Like, it's important to give them their space, and also, like, as a parent, trust your children to, and you tell them, you know, when you have a problem, you know that you can come and talk to me. You know that you have me. It's very important to reassure your children that you're always there, that you're not going to judge them. Very important. Okay, so Karthik calling Karthik. Zubin is also watching And happy to see both of you. Oh, so cute. He's not gone to sleep. He just came and said goody goody night and went. But I'm so happy, yeah. So, yeah, and I'm going to say that I give Shian a lot of space. Parents are also our best friends. Yeah,
Thank you, Renu.
Renu is his friend. So, from school, from your previous school,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So, Shian went and announced that I'm going to be live with my mom, who has green hair. Yeah. So, apparently, I think his friends think like he's a really cool mom, like lit. What is that? Lit. Lit. Like that new word that I learned yesterday, guys. Lit. Yeah. Because I have a tattoo and I have blue-green hair. So, I'm just going to stay with that. Let them just continue to think that I'm
Good
a
night
really
from
cool
Zubin.
mom. Good night from Zubin. Good night, Zubin. Okay. So, it's very important as a parent to give your children that space and reassure them that you're there for them. It's very important to reassure them I'm there when you need me, and I'm there as soon as you have an issue, like anything that you can't deal with, baby, I'm there for you. You know, you can come and talk to me about anything. So as a kid, I think they need to have that space, and they also need to know that you're there. Amita Deepak says, were you about to cry, Sheila, listening to Shian? Yeah, I did tear up. I had tears in my eyes, and it's all right to get emotional. I'm a very, very kunji person. Like, I'm really, really kunji when I see, like, for me, like, the biggest thing that I take a lot of, I don't know what, like, for me, the most important thing is, I guess, the whole thing that I feel with Shian, because I always wonder, as a new mom, you always wonder, I don't know how my kid will turn out. I don't know how this will happen. I don't know what will happen. So, there were a lot of anxieties being a single parent. And when I see him, that he turned out great, and when I see him say stuff like what he said, it does make me extremely emotional, and I feel like, I did good. Like, he turned out fine. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm really, really grateful. And I think I'm going to tear up again if I say anything more. Okay. So cute. Manvi says her 5-year-old is asking me what is Sheila auntie and Bhaiya saying. Oh, so cute. So let's see if they... Okay, someone wants to know about COVID-19. Sorry guys, we're doing parenting today. Ma'am, why talk about bitter past? Okay, so I don't really talk about the bitter past or anything. I just talk about, like, it's very important for people also to know that, I'm not someone who kind of talks from a pedestal. I really walk my talk. I've risen from a rock bottom, and for people who are at that rock bottom to know that if Sheila had fallen at rock bottom and she rose, then anyone can do it. So, that's the only reason I would do that. Someone says, according to face reading, your son is suffering from grade 1 depression. Please look into that concern. Please don't mind. Grade 1 depression.
I don't know about depression, but COVID's making me bored, so I don't know if that looks like depression.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you for your concern, Vinodji.
Yeah, so sweet. See, he's just so, like, he's such a shant, sushil, no? Like, yeah, it's making me bored. Yeah, not meeting friends can be a little...
Yeah, like, honestly, in this time of quarantine, calling them is, like, the best thing. Like, it's amazing catching up with friends, even if you're, like, far away from them.
Oh my god, your friends, Renu says, Zach was the best emotional support at school. You raised a great person and the best friend, honestly.
Thank you so much, Renu.
So cute. That makes me so proud, really. Thank you guys for watching. Yes, we both are very proud of each other, and I was proud of him as a mother. As your son talks, I can see in your eyes that you're proud of him as a mother. Of course I am. Like, I am proud, and like how I told you, when he goes and shaves his mustache, I feel proud. Like, I'm like, oh, mere lal. Like one of those typical Indian moms would be like, oh, mera bachcha. Like that. Okay. I find your son like my son. He's actually very humble. Yes, wow. Super humble, super grounded. First, okay, so Mahadevan Iyer replies to Vinod and says, first meet him, and I'm sure this is Krishna. I am sure this is Krishna and not Mahadevan. So Krishna is saying, first meet him and then judge, please. Fantastic kid I have met. Yeah, and Shian does sessions at my center for people who are depressed. So yeah, he's like he's different level. if you have issues with anything, guys, depression, you can talk to Shian, in fact. But yeah, if he's bored, he looks super depressed and he looks like he's gonna pull out his hair. Like he was looking extremely depressed a few days back because he had all Devdas like beard and mush, and I was like, please, yeah, just shave. So Sheila ji, can I as a mother ignore other people judging me as far as I know I'm trying to do best for my kid? Please tell us a good and bad cop thing, please. How to manage? Okay,
You know,
I
like,
love this. Okay,
those other people didn't give birth to your child. I don't think they should even be a part of what you think every day as to what you're supposed to do for your child, because you know that's just the worst thing. Like
Yeah.
it's just unnecessary pressure, honestly. Like, you gave birth to that child, you feel more responsibility to that child more than any other person. They're just trying to like give you their stupid gyan. Like, if their child is different, let them like do something for their child, not your child. Like, tell them to worry about their child.
yeah.
Honestly,
So when other
like,
people judge you, the best thing that I'm going to tell you is to tell them to focus on their parenting. I had people from my family actually tell me that, you know, I should, you know, feed Shian and I should wash his ass and I should do all of that. And, you know, at one point I said, you know what, I may not be a great typical mom, but I think as both parents, I'm doing a bloody good job. So I think you need to know internally whether you're doing great or not, and whether you're happy with what you're doing, guys. You need to be happy with what you're doing as a parent. All right, you need to be okay and happy and, you know, content with where you're going with your parenting. No one else needs to approve of that, not even your mother-in-law. Your mother-in-law and your mother are going to have a lot of opinions about your parenting, but you need to be okay with what you're doing with your kid. At the end of the day, you have to bring up your child without all this judgment and this guilt and this drama and all of this negativity and this, you know, things, the projections people are thopoing on you. And it's not just people, you know, in India, but people everywhere across the globe face this, where, you know, other people kind of tell them how they're not doing a good job. And sometimes it'll be your own closest family, your parents, your in-laws, teaching you how to be a better parent, you know. So I don't know, you just got to like find your okay, there's a lot of difference in bringing up a girl and boy. I have an age gap of 6 years and 7 months between the two children, daughter 12 years. Yes, I'm sure it is, there is a lot of difference. I have 2 boys. I wouldn't know what it's like to give birth, I mean to parent a girl, but Zubin's a lot like, you know, a daughter. Like, I know what it is like to have a son, but Zubin's this very, very, very different, very nazuk and very sensitive, you know, very different child. They're poles apart. You can't even compare. You can never compare 2 children, you know. Shian is completely different. You know, he was like a house on fire. Zubin can just be like he can be on his own and very, very happy with himself. Actually, Shian also could be very happy with himself, but he was a house on fire. You know, he had like ants in his pants. He would just, I know it doesn't seem like that. He like seems so grounded now, but he was like the super hyper kid.
Yes, I totally agree.
If they're paying any single bill of yours, then think over people. Yeah, exactly.
That's
you know, at the end of
I
the
couldn't agree more,
yeah.
honestly.
They're not taking care of you, they're not paying your rent, they're not like doing all of that. How should I protect my child when she's publicly compared with other children and talking such things in front of her? Protect my child when she is publicly compared with other kids.
See, now what
You
happens...
just have to time out. Like, you just gotta tell the person who's talking like that and just call a spade a spade. First of all, you have to be okay with, you know, upsetting the apple cart. Like, I'm a whistleblower. I am a whistleblower and I'm someone who upsets the apple cart. I'll call a spade and I'll put people in their place, and I'm a badass mom. So, you know, if people don't mess with me and tell me anything about my kid. Like, whoever has ever said something like that, unki bolti maine zindagi bhar ke liye band kar di. So, you know, people are really, they don't really tell me stuff, you know. I don't really face that because my energy doesn't have that thing. Like, I don't give that space for someone to say that. And if they said, I would say, like, you know, why would you do this? Like, the single most sentence that you can say, Nilima, is how, like, why would you say something like this in front of your kid or my kid? Why would you compare? Like, why would you do such an unkind thing? You know, please tell me what's going on inside of you. Like, is it unawareness, or are you just trying to hurt somebody just to feel better about yourself?
Pallavi says,
Something about Shian, my 2-year-old, is just continuously waving at.
Hi.
Yeah, he has this aura. Like people just say, your son has this aura. Like you do all the healing and he has the aura. Okay, so let's check some more questions here. I'm loving every bit of this. Praying my newborn son turns out to be as calm and grounded like Shian. Yeah.
I hope he
he's
turns out better.
Okay, now don't judge yourself for that, okay?
No, like
Just
why?
say, yeah, just like don't be so modest. Just like receive it. Like it's cool to receive it. I will also tell my son is also your son. I will tell you my son is also your son. Madhavan Iyer, dear, I just comment at face reading and with him because he's pure-hearted person and also your face always resembles many things. Thank you, Vinod. But yeah,
Thank
Shian,
you so much, Vinod.
he thinks you're depressed, बेचारा. Yeah, I think लॉकडाउन की वजह से सबके फेस में बहुत डिप्रेशन दिखाई दे रहा है. इसको टीवी का टाइम के लिए बहुत मारामारी करना पड़ता है. That possibly gives some depression, no?
No.
No? Okay, cool. I'm just assuming. Okay. Okay, I'm not answering numerology questions, guys, today. Every parent is doing their best in their own way. Yes, of course, and you need to just be okay with what you're doing. Shian, start doing a podcast. Wow. Shian, start doing a podcast. Shian sounds like Maryada Purushottam Ram.
What?
Shian sounds like Maryada Purushottam Ram, means Ram Bhagwan. Like you've not seen Ramayana, yeah. He's like this Adarsh beta, you know. He's like that, yeah, guys. I have like, I'm telling you, I'm really spoiled. I have like your skin reflects your inner self. Thank you, Ritesh Kumar Jin Maryada Purushottam Ram. I'm going to call him Maryada Purushottam Ram from now on. I'm going to call him Maryada Purushottam Ram. Sheila, now next we should ask when is Shian coming live again. Oh my god, yeah, we should do these parenting things once a week. You are so amazing. I wish my newborn. Okay, we already read that. Shian seems to be a light worker. Yes, Madhavi, he is a light worker. From when he's a little child, at the age of 2.5, he comes home after a sports class and he says, Mama, you know when I do exercise, fire comes in my mind. And then when I come home and I step in the home, and in the home, water bee is there. This was his exact words. I'm not exaggerating. I'm telling you the exact words. I'm quoting him. In the home, water bee is there. And when I put my foot in the home, the water comes up and then the fire goes down in my mind. And I said, where is the water, beta? And I just deliberately asked him that. And he says, Shian is taking over, love it. Oh, so nice. I love to hear this. Okay, so he says water bee is there. And I said, what water? I can't see any water. And he says, it's not the water that we drink. Anyway, leave it. You won't understand. And he was talking about the elements. Like the same kid who helps me with my element charts was talking about earth, fire, and water and stuff like that. So yeah, when we exercise the fire in our system, our fire element increases. And that's what a 2.5-year-old was talking about. And the reason I remember 2.5, 3 is because he had just started preschool, and that's when he started going for that class. What's that?
Oh, that we saw.
Okay, we saw that.
Oh,
Okay, guys, if you have any questions that you want us to address, Kanika says your name meaning Shian. Shian is an Irish name and it means peaceful. So it's an Irish name and it means peaceful, and he is very peaceful. He was not peaceful earlier, and I would look at him and say that, okay, I have Sindhi from Pakistan. Hi Sindhi, मैं भी Sindhi हूँ. So Sheila ma'am, share few parenting tips to ensure child grows up to be humble and grounded human. What is it that you did with Shian that he looks so humble and grounded? Oh, what a question! What a heavy question. Okay. I have to say I judged myself as a parent. I did that a lot. Okay, where I'm trying to not look like a ghost. Okay, now I'm not looking. Okay. So Pooja says that what did you do with Shian that he looks so humble and grounded, and please share parenting tips. Okay, to begin with, put your heart and soul and your love into your parenting. Okay, and never compare your kid with anyone else. The moment you start doing that, get aware. Acknowledge that you make mistakes when you do. As a parent, when I screw up and I make mistakes, I'm not ashamed to say sorry.
And another important thing I would like to add is building that trust with your kid, which is what my mom did from the start. She would share everything with me, like, whether it was work, and she would not fail to compliment me even once. She would always say that she's proud of me, and that made me really happy. Like, it's it's that one thing. That's why I can be me. It's because of her, the way she brought me up. And even now also, everything, like, whatever concerns, it's like at at home we're best friends.
Yeah.
We're best friends at home.
Yeah. And it's very important to also, like, when in your parenting, in the whole rush of Irish boy. Yeah, he has an Irish name for sure, and it means peaceful. So, and when you make a mistake as a parent, which I do, like sometimes when I'm disciplining him and I'll end up saying something to him, and as parents, you're going to make mistakes, guys. It's all right to make a mistake. And he I don't feel. One second, Shian. I'm trying to not look like a ghost. Like, otherwise I sound I look like one ghost. So, I say sorry, and it's all right to say sorry. Like, sometimes I'll say something to him. Shian, how many times has it happened? Like, when I'll, like, be unreasonable and I'll blow up, and then I'll tell him, I'm sorry, I took it out on you, and I'll come and apologize. Like, you remember those times? Like, when I've come and said I'm sorry, like when we're having like a thing.
At first, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. At first, I didn't say sorry easily. That basic moral I never did. But then, even though while my mom was trying to teach me that, she always like, abided by her own teachings, and like, she always said sorry, even though when she didn't have to. And even when, in those little fights that we have, even though I made like the bigger mistake, I was like the bigger fool, and I didn't go and say sorry first. She would always come and say sorry to me first. That would make me feel even worse, which also made me realize that saying sorry doesn't make you smaller, doesn't make you like some untouchable or something, doesn't make you weird. Saying sorry is like a really beautiful thing.
So yeah, and sometimes we both end up getting upset with each other when we're trying to, like, find a middle path. And sometimes after we kind of react, we both will come and say I'm sorry, and we'll hug. We never go to bed, like couples, what they follow, they never go to bed fighting. As a mom and son, for me, like, I get super rattled if I have a tiff with Shian. Like, for me, my relationship with Shian is so important that I can't have that. Like, I can't have our equilibrium be topsy-turvy. So it's very important to also not have that ego as a parent, and learn to say sorry to your kid. And it doesn't mean that your kid is going to take advantage of you. Your kid is not going to take advantage of you. I have said sorry so many times. My husband said sorry to him and he's being unreasonable, but Shian will never take advantage of that. And you have to trust that your child will not take advantage. And even when your child comes and says sorry to you, imagine if you go, oh, see, you did like this, and then you go into that zone, your child will be like, "Arey yaar, sorry bol ke galti kiya." Like, when your kid says sorry, you've got to just embrace that sorry. And what are you doing? Okay.
Questions.
No. Do this. See, please, parenting podcast. Podcast is simple. Okay, I can't read. Sorry. Yeah. Pranjal says so true, Shian. Sorry doesn't make you small. So yeah, that it's true. Okay, any tips related to how to worry less about kids' nutrition? What to feed? Is it enough? I try to go as per kids' cue and not to force feed. But as moms, it's a constant worry and we get judged a lot too. Okay, first of all, Pallavi. Okay, I did that with Shian. I made sure there were all colors of food in the khana. And I said there has to be green and orange and yellow and blue, and I don't know what we do here as moms. We are so paranoid with our first kids. Your firstborn is like your project. You feel like you got to get it right. Stop doing that. Stop trying to judge yourself as a parent when you're trying to feed your kid. Feed them nutritious food and don't go overboard. Like, your stress that you project on your kid is going to harm them more. So just feed them and allow them to choose their food. Do not try to put a lot of sweet and unhealthy stuff. Just include everything healthy, everything multigrain, everything whatever. Make sure there's no white bread at home. Don't feed your kid. Like with Shian, I never fed him sugar he didn't know what a chocolate was till the age of 2.5. Okay, till 2.5 he had never eaten a chocolate. That's how overboard I went with him.
I think Zubin's was even more.
Zubin's was a lot longer.
4, I think.
Maybe
4
4.
and a half.
And with Shian, no Pepsi, no Coke, no nothing till the age of 2.5. And after that, when he went to school and he ate his first chocolate, he ate chocolate with a vengeance after that. And you worry with all of that with your kids in the beginning, but seriously, you know what, at the end of the day, you've got to let your kid also like enjoy and eat what they want to eat. You've got to make sure that things primarily in the house are healthy. The entire thing, like we don't eat normal wheat and we eat like samba wheat, or like what is it called, jo
God knows.
I don't know, some
God.
special Punjab wheat. Okay,
It's healthy.
It's healthy. It's gluten free wheat. We avoid eating rice. There's a lot of multi-grain cereal. There's only multi-grain bread, and sometimes we even avoid that. We eat a lot of, like, my husband's a over the top OTT. Like, he's the boss of eating healthy. So my husband is over the top. So generally, the whole family gets to eat healthy. Your son can start a podcast for kids. I'm probably gonna suggest he does that. I've been asking him to do this for a long time, but then I realized that I was pushing and projecting him, and I said maybe I'm just like a crazy mom who just sees, not jowar. Sorry, Neelu, not jowar. It's called Java Godi. Yeah, Java Atta, Java Godi. It's actually Punjab wheat which has the grains in it. It's not the gluten wala thing. Now the wheat that you get is genetically modified. It's horrible. It's really bad. That's why the atta comes so white. So in our house we have white atta and red atta. So the Java wheat or the Punjab wheat is actually red in color. Hold on. How to not sound as a nag when you ask your child to study. He hates me when I ask him to study. Okay, I'm gonna zip up on this. I am not going to talk because I do not have the right to talk on this. Shian is gonna answer that question. I sound like a nag. I'm a nag when I tell him to study. So I'm not yeah.
Honestly, like, there's nothing else that works.
How do not sound like a nag?
See, there's nothing else. If no one sounds like a nag, then it's not gonna work. I don't think I would have studied easily if no one was nagging me.
That's such an honest answer. Thank you for being honest. That's the problem, right? On live videos, he has to be super dead, blunt, honest. Like, nothing else is gonna work except for being... You're making me look like a ghost in everything, Shian.
I didn't know anything.
Okay, you didn't do anything. Wait, let's read some of that. Shian, you're blessed with such a mom, and you're equally blessed as he is such a sweet and grounded child. You're so right, Reshma. Thank you. Yes, I agree. Thanks for sharing your life experience. I'm very inspired, and I feel that you can do it too. Feels like you're just like us. Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Like I struggled with parenting stuff like you guys are struggling. It's just that, I just had this bhaad mein ja wala attitude. Like, I don't know, like I have this bhaad mein ja wala attitude. And that's like my healing mudra, my healing mantra, bhaad mein jao. It's like a revolution, right? Bhaad mein jao, revolution. So just follow that and I think you're good. Ta-da. Thanks, that helps. Literally made notes of this. I'm touched by the love that you both have in your eyes for each other. Loads of love. Once again, I'll read it. In your eyes for each other. Loads of love to you both. Virtual hug to you both. Pooja says this. The one who asked. Thank you. I can relate. I was initially salty at my mom for nagging me to study, but now I'm honestly thankful for that now. Yeah. I wouldn't have achieved anything without my mom forcing me to study, honestly. Yeah, it's a dirty job. I tell him, it's my job. I tell him I'm sorry. It's my job. And in that time, you can't be your child's friend. Because that, they have to create something for their life. I also tell him that, none of the study you may use in the future. Like, I don't use all of that. But it's important for you to, like, figure out, try 100 different things, know what you like and don't like, and then you can make your decision. But you have to study. Like, till a certain point, you have to study. After that, you want to go, like, you want to pursue dancing, you want to pursue acting, you want to become a speaker, you want to do whatever you want to do. Like I don't have a point of view that I want my kid to do something specific. I don't have a healthy relationship with my parents. What could be the effect on my parenting? Ritesh, that is a tough one, darling, because when you don't have a healthy relationship with your parents, a lot of times the certain mess ups or the gaps that you have with your parents, you try to overcompensate with your children. You will try to overcompensate with your children. So you want to be a little careful of that. Children learn from our actions. What we do, they learn the same. You both look amazing. Any tips on how to worry less about kids' nutrition? Okay, we address that. Wait. Recently, he questions back far above his age compared to my tasks my way. Compares to my tasks my ways. Okay, Shian does that. Like there are times that I'll tell him to do something and then he'll say, you didn't do, Zubin didn't do it. And then I'm like, Shian, you can't compare yourself to me. Like, I mean, children are automatically, they're going to be kids, you know. So they're going to try and compare. And then sometimes you've got to give them some cheeky answers and say that, I'm not 15, I'm not 16. And, I finished studying, I went to college. I've been there, done it, finished. When you do this, then you can, you can give them some cheeky answers. But, I would say that just makes them more rebellious and pisses them off even more. I don't know what works when they start comparing themselves to you. Like, how does that work when I tell you?
In most cases, when you give them an answer that they want or an answer that they should get, I would say answer that they should get, like the truth, the whole truth, like why you should not be questioned. Like my mom said, that a cheeky answer, like she said, is also the truth that they should get. When they get a reason for it, that's where the questions stop. If there's another question, answer that question also.
Yeah. Address it, that's all. Just address it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, a cheeky answer will help. Like, kind of show them, like, call a spade a spade. How do you know if your parents are emotionally and mentally damaging you? All of our parents emotionally damaged us, and we are damaging our children. That's the truth. We are constantly damaging our children. Like, we will keep projecting to our children things that, we didn't do or we couldn't do, or our parents had certain lacunas, and we try to project that onto our children. Unknowingly, they are going to turn around perhaps someday and say, you didn't spend enough time with me, you were too busy about your work, you were too busy on your phone. Your children are going to find fault at some point. Like, I'm just going to say that,
That's one thing that my mom told me a long time ago, that, that was pointed out and made a lot of sense. It's so true. Like, when a kid makes a mistake, that's easily forgiven. Even when it's like a big one, might not be easily forgiven, but at one point it is forgiven at times. Okay, depends, most of the times. Okay, but in most of the cases, like I would say above 95% of the cases, when a parent makes a mistake, it's like the kid, I don't know if the kid doesn't want to forgive or doesn't forgive or can't forgive. Most of the cases, the parent isn't forgiven.
Yeah.
Till probably they're like, one day that the kid just suddenly realizes when they're a parent.
Yeah.
That made so much sense. And just like I said, sorry doesn't make you small. You just gotta understand, to all the kids out there also, you just gotta understand your parents a little more. Okay, fine, maybe even they're in the wrong. If they're in the wrong, just forgive them for now. And it's not like it's compulsory for you to pay back whatever your parents have given you in your childhood. It's just whatever's happening, I'm just gonna tell you, just forgive your parents for whatever they've done right now, because holding it on for like a long time is not healthy.
Yeah.
It's not healthy.
And a lot of times we feel that we have to be perfect. It's okay to tell your children that you didn't come with a manual. I tell Shian that all the time. Like, I became I became a mom at a very, very young age, and But she has study was it a project? Okay, I want to come to that. I became a mom at a very young age, and it was, you know, it's I tell him that I didn't come with you didn't come with a manual, dude. You didn't come with a manual. Like,
Okay, Insta,
No,
we're going live again.
we're going live again. Wait. You just share this like this. Do this now. You have to share this, okay? Hold on. Wait. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Find something that you like. Yeah. Okay, so we're still on Facebook, and Shian's gonna fix some stuff. You can go there and fix it. Okay. Okay, so what I'm gonna do for people on Facebook is I'm really tired of having this landscape because it's doing, I don't know, like मेरा आँख टेढ़ा हो रहा है, and I just want to take it back to the different orientation. So I'm gonna end this live video on Facebook, and I'm gonna come back live again in 2 minutes. All right, 2 minutes. So in 2 minutes we're gonna come back live. So come back on the next video. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna answer your queries.